Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to another weekly whammy. Probably the last weekly whammy for a little while.
Could be the last weekly whammy. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm about
probably the last.
I'm
weekly
about
whammy.
85% sure this is the last whammy. Y'all, starting off today, one of the trees getting dropped this morning. We got Acer palmatum, Akaji nishiki.
Yeah, really cool plant. Great spring interest colors. Again, the way these work, they're not a huge set, so they're a little bit more than limited sale, a little bit less than a 10 at 10. Just some fun things to get on the website this time of the year. Hopefully bring you into MrMaple. Let's see all these great things we got going on. But yeah, just a fun reason to think about trees, think about spring. Akaji nishiki, though, dramatic pink displays in the spring. I love that that really bright display.
Yeah, it's got a nice upright form, amazing pink kind of color in the early spring. And then after that, it's one of those trees that the leaves themselves are kind of like the flowers, just some spectacular pink spring color. Gives you some good fall color as well. Akaji nishiki, grab it today pretty quickly.
Whammy.
Again, limited numbers.
All right. Coming in here next, guys, we got Dr. Seuss, another Talon Buchholz introduction. We do a lot of Talon Buchholz introductions, obviously, since we own Buchholz Farm. Probably not a lot of people even know this one was his. I mean, maybe we've talked about it enough it's getting out there, but great variegated interest on this one, that swirling, different style variegation. It's just so next level, and I think you'll love this one. Tends to be a shorter, denser tree as well. Going to work zones 5 through 9, 6 to 8 foot, even in a 15-year period, so not something that's going to get super big. Typically closer to that 6 foot kind of range.
Yeah, and it's one of those trees that has that unique style variegation. You get these weird blotches of green on the outer edge that is really nice on the outside edge. Smaller tree, unique variegation. And the variegation is one that you really only find with this Dr. Seuss.
Love it. All right, here's one of our ones that was on our list of the trees we hate, and not because we hate the tree, just because we hate the name. Don't hate the cultivar, hate the name, right? Is that it? Is that the saying? Don't hate the player, hate the game. All right, guys, Acer Solenum 6910 is an amazing plant. In fact, I have one in my front yard. That's how much I like it with limited space. I have one planted in my garden. Not the greatest name, but an awesome tree. 6910, sometimes referred to as Holland 6910. I love this tree for its large Shirasawanum foliage and that lime green color it provides in the early spring.
And there are limited numbers of these. And again, I don't know of another set of these coming on at MrMaple. So it may be a while, maybe a minute until these come back. So take advantage of many of these. A lot of these items are items that are in limited numbers at MrMaple, meaning they're less than 10 typically. They're 10 or less on these. And so y'all jump on these because we've got a lot of people shopping this limited release we're doing through this whammy. And y'all, 6910, awesome plant.
All right, guys, up next, we've got Acer Solenum X Herbsfuhrer. You know, we didn't have this one. It could have been an alternate on our fastest growing trees list. A lot of people suggested it in the comments, and certainly is a very vigorous tree. I would say one of the most durable Solenums for the South as well. It's a hybrid, great orange fall color. And great durability. I've had no leaf burn on this one and a good bit of sun here in Zone 6B, Western North Carolina. I've got a big one in full sun and just does phenomenal. Yeah,
the oranges and reds that it goes in the fall is where it gets the name of Herbsfuhrer, which is German for fall's fire. A few people have told me that it's Herbsfuhrer, fall leader, because it's one of the first trees to go to fall color. Now it is one of the first trees to go to fall color, but it would be spelled differently if it was Herbsfuhrer versus Herbsfuhrer.
I think you're not supposed to say the H. I think it's herb, like herb garden. It's actually named after a guy named Herb. Old Herb was named old Herb the Fuhrer. I better quit. All right, next up we've got Ginkgo biloba Jade Butterflies.
Yeah, one of our most popular ginkgos when we have it in numbers. Again, we only have it in limited numbers right now, and we dropped it here for the weekly whammy. It's an upright male ginkgo selection, dense, compact form, and the leaves look like little butterflies.
Get your whammies in now. It might be a while. Green Arrow up next, returning.
Yeah, this is the Chamaecyparis nucatensis. These are some great 3 gallons that came in from the Buchholz farm. There just wasn't enough of them to put on a 10 at 10. And so they're dropping here on the weekly whammy. This is one of the most popular, extremely narrow Alaskan weeping cedars. Some people would call it a Cupressus nucatensis. You know, you can argue species all you want all day. This is a cool tree for your garden because it gives it vertical interest and it's real tall and narrow.
Next up, we got the Golden Dragon U's in 3 gallons as well. So those were in 3s. These are also in 3 gallons.
And the Golden U's are a unique, just really nice evergreen out there for the landscape and garden. And the new growth is a bright yellow. That's where this selection gets the name Golden Dragon.
Classic for Japanese gardening. Absolutely beautiful plants to add texture to the garden. So Cryptomeria globosa nana. These are also in limited numbers, but also in 3 gallons.
Yeah, whenever you're talking about a dwarf Cryptomeria, this is a plant that's a good evergreen, can handle a little more shade than some of the other evergreens. And being a Cryptomeria, it does well in the high heat settings of the South.
All right, guys, we've got Philippe's Magic Moment. These are also coming at you in 3 gallons. So you 3-gallon conifer hunters, we got them. We got some conifer in some 3 gallons, some great sizes today too. So Philippe's Magic Moment.
Yeah, this is an amazing, faster growing, just thuya out there, that arborvitae for the garden that gives you some bright yellow color out there for a screening plant. Amazing to add that yellow as well in the garden with an evergreen interest. Philippe's Magic Moment in limited numbers in 3 gallons.
You guys been asking for bigger sizes, so dropping some of those. This one is in a 1 gallon. We've got Edelweiss Gold.
Yeah, that's a Pinus strobus selection that goes more to yellow during the wintertime.
I had to stop and think about like German from saying Japanese words.
I know, Edelweiss. I know. I saw the same thing whenever I was walking around there. I was like, Edelweiss. Anyways, an amazing white pine with some yellow winter interest as well. We also have Cryptomeria Yoshino in 1 gallons as well. That is an upright Japanese Cryptomeria. Again, heat tolerant, easy to grow, makes an excellent upright evergreen out there in the landscape, and can handle a little more shade than some of your other conifers.
Probably one found or at least named for the Yoshino Trail we went and hiked around. Pretty cool area there, known for the cherries. Beautiful Japanese maples. We actually offered wild collected maple seeds from the Yoshino Trail. Cryptomeria named for that area as well.
Now, we've got a lot of conifers on this weekly whammy, but we got some maples rounding out towards the end.
We've had a lot of requests for conifers.
We've had a lot of requests for conifers on the whammy. So
and we're bringing this next one in a 2 gallon Pinus densiflora Caesarinis variegated. So nice size 2 gallons on these. Those won't last.
Japanese red pine with banded variegation. It's one of my favorite styles of a conifer because it just grabs your attention if you love variegation. Here's an evergreen with some just spectacular variegation to just steal the show.
You know this one. You love this one, guys. We're bringing it back in 1 gallons. Frankie Boy. Actually, that's a 3 gallon. So Frankie Boy, let me fall all the way over. Yeah, we got 3 gallons of Frankie Boy.
Yeah, some 3 gallon beasts out there. It's awesome to be able to offer some of these larger sizes of some of these trees that are popular that people love in the 1 gallons. Again, we didn't have many of these, so there's dropping here on the weekly whammy. Frankie Boy just has this really nice upright structure. It's got
great texture to it.
Yeah, great texture. And it's very thread-like. It's very unique for what it is. Next up, guys, we've got Daweswood Tawny Fleece to end up and round out all of our conifers. A Metasequoia Glyptostroboides Daweswood Tawny Fleece in 1 gallons.
Yeah, really cool plant. This one comes from a Daweswood Arboretum. You know this one, it's a perfect pairing with Sherman's Nordlicht. It's dense. It's typically a 5x5 ball. It actually gets this beautiful kind of orange hue to it throughout the spring and summer, so it's a really offsetting color to the Sherman's Nordlicht in a good way. I love the comparison these two make to each other. It also looks great around maple collections. Kind of has that orangey glow hue. Maybe my favorite Dawn Redwood. I don't know. It's up there. I love Sherman's Nordlicht. It'd be hard to say, but I mean, Daweswood Tawny Fleece is so next level. I love that it actually has a little bit larger needles too, so it has a little bit more tassel-y look to it. All right, guys, coming in here next, we're bringing back Michael Steinhardt, the Golden Trident Maple, and we're going to have some of those in 1 gallons for you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fast-growing Trident Maple with yellow color that can handle the sun, great fall color, and it's a selection from Tennessee. Can handle full sun in Tennessee, in western Tennessee, or in eastern Tennessee. That is pretty spectacular.
Great looking plant. Great fall colors, too. I mean, yellows and oranges and reds in the fall. Typically holds the gold, though, that yellow late into the summer here for us. I've got a big one in my garden as well in the front yard. I have it next to that pewter. You probably heard me talk about that before, but really just a great way to add yellow in the garden. It also shades out a lot of my smaller maples in the garden as well.
I'm bad with my directions. It was definitely western Tennessee.
What'd you say, eastern?
I said eastern Tennessee.
That'd be a hard place to get to from western North Carolina.
I know, right? Y'all, Michael Steinhardt, though, amazing Trident Maple. It's that yellow color that I love. It's easy to grow. Make sure you give it plenty of good drainage. It is a game changer when it comes to Trident Maples because this is truly a yellow, and the fall color is amazing too. It's one of the best fall color Tridents as well. And Tridents are known for having great fall color. Guys, grab you one of those today. They're going to go quick.
Next up, we've got the Fagus Mercedes. Next up on the stage, Mercedes.
Fagus sylvatica Mercedes has a thread-like needle to it on a European beech. Make sure you give them plenty of good drainage, but this is a collector piece that everybody's always after. It's one of those trees that everybody has to have.
Tim still staring at me. I couldn't help it. Love this plant. Great foliage to it. Really unique. It's almost like a lace leaf looking approach to it. Really great texture in the garden. Smaller, denser habit to it. Does have a stripper name, but great plant. Next up, we've got Acer palmatum kotobuki.
Now, this is a pink and white variegated Orino Nishiki style variegation Japanese maple. It's known for having a lot more of those kind of white colors to it, but this is an outstanding plant. It sells out always quickly whenever
Tons
we
of
list
pink. I mean, I think this one really brings it with the pink as well. One of the bigger margins for the variegation. So you get the swirl like you get with a Orino, but you get like you get a lot of like less green, more white and pink on this one, I feel like.
Yeah, it's very showy. Kotobuki is basically a Japanese drama from back in the day.
Another stripper.
And this one definitely puts on some drama in the garden.
Next up, we've got Ruby Day Sophia. This one's awesome, guys. This is a contorted reticulated form. So not only do you get this interesting reticulation, great red fall color. I mean, really next level fall colors. It has this irregular shape, so it kind of gets wide. It gets these irregular branches. No two Ruby Day Sophia look exactly the same.
And they can be kind of twisting and undulating in their growth as well, which is kind of unique and different.
Clean it up a little bit. Next up on the stage, we got Mystic Jewel.
Yeah. Now, Mystic Jewel is a newer selection, likely an Acer olive veranum. We listed it as olive veranum here on our site because that's what the leaves look like. And we got some really nice large 2G talls. So some 2-gallon tall.
This is a dope plant. I mean, this thing's next level. Peter Van Risen first showed this to me at Mance on a cell phone a couple years ago, and I was blown away. Like, I was immediately thought of it being Acer olivieranum, immediately thought of it being a great companion to something like Hot Blonde because of that coloration it has. Just next level plant.
Yeah, I think the original name on that was Flame Queen. Mm-hmm. And I said, you might want to choose a more marketable name for the United States. Mystic Jewel was the name they ended up choosing, and it is an amazing, very vigorous, pretty heat tolerant, and it has some lavender colors during the summer that are amazing. It is outstanding, and the lavender colors it gives during the summer on the new growth, I haven't seen that on many other selections.
Last but not least here, guys, we've got Allen's Gold. You know this one. It's amazing. It's a fan favorite, and some great size. We got these in 1 gallons and 1 gallon XLs. This is not only one of the best spring interest plants, it's also a pine bark, so it's super next level because it has that pine bark interest to it. One of the best plants we do. I mean, I'm probably going to do a top 5 pine barks pretty soon. People have been requesting that one. Spoiler alert, I bet you Allen's Gold's #1 because it's my favorite pine bark, right? I mean, how could you talk about pine barks and not talk about the most diverse, interesting pine bark, which is Allen's Gold?
It probably is one of the slower ones to get the pine bark to it, but the fact that you get that amazing spring color and the pine bark makes it a winner. I mean, this is a game changer. It's never been out there before. All the other pine barks out there are green. And so definitely a game changer. Awesome selection. Guys, that's our weekly whammies for this week.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. They're probably ending today. It's probably the last whammy that you're getting from Mr. Maple. It's a fun one, though. It's a great one. It's been a fun little run we've had with these. We'll be seeing. We might bring back Flash Sale Friday. We might bring back something else. We'll see. You never know what's going in the mix for Mr. Maple. We're always trying to keep it interesting and exciting. Talking to you guys about plants 7 days a week here on the Mr. Maple Show. So if you hadn't already, make sure to subscribe here. And if you like maple content, definitely be sharing our videos. We may come up with another whammy later in the month, later in this, before spring, we'll see. But for now, this probably concludes the weekly whammies.
I mean, it's hard to put so many plants on the website constantly. We've got 40 trees on Tuesday, 40 trees on Thursday, 1 tree hitting the hour on the limited release on the hour, every hour.
Normally during this
from
time
9
of
a.m.
year,
to 9 p.m.
Normally this time of the year is when we bring back the limited release, but it never ended. So we've been putting trees on the website from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 365 days. Straight. I think we missed like one
for 3 weeks
because the website messed up. But like we've literally hit it every day of the year. Something's loaded on the weekly sale.
And for 3 weeks, we actually put 2 on the hour every hour.
That's wild. That's
so
wild.
we have, for almost a month of that, we put 3 on the hour, or 2 on the hour. Anyways, we put a lot of darn trees on the website.
That's a lot of plants.
And so it's hard to keep something like the Whammy up right now, but who knows what the future may be for something like the Whammy.
Hey, enjoy it. Today's probably the last one for a while, but we appreciate you tuning in, watching our videos, and thanks so much for watching. Take care.
God bless.
Have a great day.